Hey everyone, so I'm going to do a special filming today, and it's going to be a look that is probably one of the most popular looks that I've ever done. In everyone's career, they're going to have like a peak, and maybe I've already hit my peak, or I was just so darn lucky, but I did a wedding this past summer, and in my lookbook and in all of my experiences, it's probably the most infamous. Is that a negative way to say it? It's probably the most infamous look that I've ever done. Every bride always says, I want that look. So I am going to recreate that look today, but it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to use the bride herself.
Hi, Ruth!
So I'm going to redo Lori's bridal look that I did this past summer. The funny thing is, so we probably practiced like 15 times.
At least, yeah.
And we thought we had the look down, and then when it came to the wedding morning, Lori was like, just do whatever. And so this was single-handedly the darkest wedding look I've ever done. The funny thing is, every bride who comes to me and talks about a look they want, they're like, I want to go natural. And then I'm like, okay, look at my book. Which one do you want to do? And they're like, that one. The picture of Lori's wedding. So I'm gonna see if I can insert a picture in here. So I'm gonna recreate the look because everybody always thinking loves this look. I love this look. I can't even do it on my own eyes. It was seriously the most beautiful thing I've ever done, and I hope you guys like it. I don't think I'm gonna speed it up because it's gonna take so long to describe everything, and I want you to really understand what I'm doing for a wedding look. So I'm gonna get into it. So Lori already primed. We used the Pure Minerals Soak It Up. No, we didn't prime. We moisturized. So she already used the Pure Minerals Soak It Up Intense Hydrating Moisturizer. I know the lighting in here stinks, but this is what it looks like. This is just like the little sample size. And since Lori is prone to dry skin, I'm going to use a primer that has a silica base. So this is going to help everything just stay really fresh and kind of glowy on the skin so it doesn't go matte. You don't want wedding makeup to go matte, but you do want it to last all day long. So I'm going to use the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, and this is going to help her makeup just glide all over her face. I'm probably going to use a little bit more than I would normally use on myself, just because I really, really want this to fill in the pores, the lines, and make the foundation glide over it really smoothly. And make sure to get it in the T-zone really well, like around the nose, in the forehead, and on the little cheekies. Lori's foundation, we did use the MAC Pro Longwear foundation. It did make her break out the next day. I have a really nice yellow undertone. This is going to be a little too dark on her skin, so I'm going to just mix a bunch of foundations. So I'm going to mix some of the MAC Pro Longwear, some of the Makeup Forever HD, just because this is going to be amazing for pictures. And then I'm going to make it just a little bit whiter with my naked skin. So I'm just going to plop this on her skin. Whack, 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 whack. And then I'm not going to use a brush. Because you want the bride's foundation to be really, really airbrushed and like moist on their face, I'm going to use what's called the Beauty Blender. So it looks like this. The pink sponge. Sponge makes it so that it doesn't hold any bacteria in it, so it's awesome. So here, why don't you scoot closer so that they can see your face. You can go, no, that's okay. I'll do it like this. So this sponge is wet and it helps move the pigment around, so I'm just going to bounce it on her skin and bounce the pigment out. For your brides, you really, really, really want a good base, because that's what's going to be photographed a lot, is your skin. You really want airbrushed skin when it comes to your wedding. To prime her eyes with my MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre, looks like this. It's just a yellow-based base for your eye. And I bring that all the way up to the brow. Then I am going to use my Anastasia Brow Wiz in Caramel. Did we already have this talk? Caramel or caramel?
Yes, we did.
Okay, I have to scoot in the way just a little bit because I need to get... Can you still see you if I'm filming like this?
Mm-hmm.
I think Lori really took advantage of the I'm getting married thing. She would literally be like, Tuesday night, let's practice makeup. Wednesday night, we should just probably practice makeup. If you can tell, I like hold my arm to steady it. Doing the brows is probably one of the hardest things on a client. You really want to do it light-handedly, so I kind of hold my arm off. I use this other hand. Oh, this makes me look really fat. I promise I'm really not that fat. It's like bunched up on my tank top underneath. It made me look like I was preggers. I'm not pregnant. Okay, so I take this free hand and I put it on my stomach, on my hip, and I rest my other hand on it, and then I also rest this on my elbow, if you're into freelancing.
The first time Candy told me she's going to draw my brows, I ran away screaming.
Yeah,
ran away screaming.
No.
But it really does complete the look really, really nice. And in my pictures, they look awesome.
So I'm going to go in with my, and then I use my Maybelline Define Brow in medium brown as always. I like to use that at the tail end because when you do a brow, you want to have a, when it fades, from dark to lighter.
The ombre.
No. But you know what I'm saying. So a brow would naturally be lighter right here in the front and darker towards the end because your hair is going to be thicker. So that's why I do that for a little bit of texturing in the brow. And then I'm going to take my Anastasia brow powder. And I'm again going to take the darkest powder and go at the tail. Just because you really want to set the brow, they're going to be under lots of lighting and probably sweating.
Yes.
I know Lori was sweating. We had a fan blowing up her dress. And then I use the lightest color just on the front. And I'm also going to go in with my Gimme Brow by Benefit. And this is in the blonde one. What is the name of this? Does it have a name? Light medium. And this is just to help her brows stand up and give them a little bit more of a natural look. The Maybelline Color Tattoo in Bad to the Brown, baby. Looks like this. Just up to her natural crease line. After I do this, I'm going to have you go in close just so that they can... And Lori has very cat eyes, so it really helps. That's why I really think this look was such a hit. She really has such elongated eyes. In like the nicest way possible. That sounds bad, but I promise it's a good thing. Okay, lean forward and let them see what that looks like. So we put the base on from lash line to the crease. Okay, and the star of the show, ladies and folks, is the Urban Decay Original Naked Palette. Neutral. So I dipped my brush in water because it has so much glitter in it. I cannot stand glitter. Oh, it makes me feel so weird inside. So I dipped my brush in water. I have a cup of water over here, and then I just paint it in here, okay? And then what I do is I paint it right over this face. I'm going to pull her eye up just so I can get all those natural creases to flatten out so none of the product starts to crease in her eye. And I'm going to bring it up to the crease as well.
This one?
Oh yeah, you can show. So we painted that basically on the crease. Now I am going to blend this first eye out just with a really soft, clean brush. Just going to blend it out. You don't ever want any harsh lines. So then we took the next most beautiful color ever, Sin, and I took this on a flat brush, and we put it right on top. I'm just going to bounce this on top of the whole thing. It gives it just a little bit of a lighter look to it, and it's going to help when the light hits it for it to really make your eyes look rounded. And then I'm going to go in with Virgin. This is just a little bit of a sheen. Sin is a really metallic color, but Virgin is just a little bit of a sheen. And I'm going to put that right underneath the brow, on the brow bone. I'm going to go in with my favorite big Soho blending brush, and I'm going to go in with Naked. This is the first matte shade in this palette, and it is like the most perfect transition color. So I'm going to start in windshield wiper motions. We're going to start from the outer corner. That's where you're going to put down most of the product, and then you're going to windshield it across the crease to the inner corner, basically. And this is what we're doing here is we're drawing on her crease. I mean, you naturally have one, but we're just defining the features, kind of like when you take bronzer in your cheekbone, you're creating ththose hollows. I'm going to go into Buck, and I'm going to start building up that gradient. Word gradient.
I'll remember that for next time.
Thanks. So I haven't started to make an outer V yet. These are just transition colors. But Buck is staying more on the outer corner of the eye. I'm not going all the way across. I'm going about halfway with this color. These shadows are like $6 a piece. They're comparable to MAC, and they are much, much bigger than MAC shadows, and they're absolutely amazing. And this one I carry to every single wedding with me. It is like my saving grace. So I'm going to go into another smaller fluffy brush, and I'm going to go into an even darker brown, this one right here. Pack that on and give it a flick so that the excess comes off. And we're going to start building up this really darkness in the outer corner. Actually, why don't you show them what it looks like. So I started a crease color. I know the lighting is so amazing.
Trying to show it off there.
And then I'm going to go in that medium brown color and just start in this outer corner. I'm going to start drawing on that V. So I'm going to go from the crease line down to her lash line and then back into the crease again. You can already see the intensity, and I'm going to blend it out. You always want to blend as you go, because blending at the very end is going to make everything look like one seamless color, and you want it to be a gradient. So you can go in and show them what this looks like. So you can see the outer corners are becoming more defined. And then I'm going to go in with this darkest brown up here, and I'm going to take my time really building that one up. That's kind of probably a little bit advanced, but if you have an eye for cool and warm colors, then you'll know what I'm talking about. So we're going to switch. I put the color down, and now we're going to blend it out. Where did I put my blending brush? So now I'm going to go in with an even smaller brush and go into that darkest brown, just because we're really going to start to define this outer corner. Oh, yes, that's right.
I don't know if that light is. Oh, I'll be in if I tell you.
We'll find out.
Oh, I know.
Just a little bit. Creating those little flaky flakes from the glitter.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of blending, ladies, to do a good look like this. I know a lot of women tell me they want to go for a natural look for your wedding. You want to go for a natural skin look. You do not want to go for a natural eye look. Lori at first said she wanted to go for a natural look, but Lori, please do be my bride to tell them what a darker look on the eyes does for your pictures.
The darker eyes, especially since I have light blue eyes, they pop so much in my pictures, and I would not have gone even like the littlest bit lighter on my eye makeup, because in my pictures you have a white dress, you have a plain white dress, and you need something to make that pop on your face, otherwise you're going to get lost in all of the white.
And then, so you can show them that, and I'm going to show the very last thing that I'm going to do that's going to freak a lot of people out.
Yep.
Okay, so this is what I did. Be scared. I went into Creep back in the Naked palette. This is a black. Whenever I use blacks, I'll show you what I do. So I'm going to dip it in the black, flick it off, and then I'm going to tap it on the back of my hand. You want to get most of that product off. And luckily, Urban Decay, I love you. You have some of the most pigmented colors, but Creep is like a sucky black. It's totally not pigmented black, so it's safe to work with. That sounds bad, but honestly, it's the best black to work with for weddings, because you're not going to be like, boop, ruined the eye look. So just a little bit of black. I'm going on a flat brush, so it's like flat like this, but actually wide as well. So it's a thin tapered brush like that. And what I did was right here at the corner of the lash line, I start drawing it up into this V, just really lightly. This is what's going to pull her eye out and extend it. Just a very little bit of black. You don't want people to know you're even wearing any. Start the rest of her face. And then I'm going to go in with a flat angled brush just like this. And I'm going to go into the darkest brown in my Inglot palette. I know, I always do that. Give it a little flick. I'm going to have Lori look up towards the ceiling. And I'm just going to drag this right underneath her eye. When you do it on an angled brush, you're going to get much less fallout, and it's going to be much less of like a, ooh, looks like you got punched in the eye. And then I'm going to take my CoverGirl and Olay Simply Ageless Corrector. I actually used my, gosh, what is it called? My Mineral Power one, but it actually ended up looking a little bit chalky right here, and Lori asked me to even put bronzer there. So what we did wrong is we went for one that was supposed to be a highlighter and not a corrector, which was yellow undertone like Lori's skin, and that's why it looked really like chalky. Maximum coverage concealer brush like this. It's just a flat, thin brush. I'm going to get just a little bit of concealer on it, and we're just going to draw the perfect line of where the eyeshadow needs to end. It's going to disperse the pigment even better, and I'm going to blend that out. And if you ever have trouble blending, take some NYX Dewy Finish and just give your face a spray. It's going to rehydrate it if your foundation has begun to set, and you can really move things around much easier this way. My MAC Skin Finish Natural in Light. So this is not a shimmery product, it's just like a setting powder. I'm going to take a big brush like this, and this is just to give a little bit of setting to it because you don't want her face to be too dry. I'm going to go into my Lorac Perfection powder, and this is going to give a really nice sheen to the face, so it's not going to look like a dry deck carpet. And I'm going to really work this in the T-zone where you would first get oily. Use my Chocolate Soleil. And you do fishy face. Does it help you when you do fishy face?
I'm horrific at contouring, so, you know.
So I'm just going to give a little bit of coloring there. And then I'm also going to take this around the sides of her head. So
It really does smell really good.
yeah, when Travis put it on me, I could literally taste it. If you don't want any streaking on your face or cakiness from the bronzer, I'm just going to rub over everything to make sure it's all blended into the skin. And then my holy grail of a wedding blush is Fleur Power by MAC. So it's like the perfect pinky peach, like just been kissed by love. And just kind of work it on her cheekies, just to give a little bit of a flush.
Product of all time on makeup, ever.
The Mineralized Skin Finish by MAC in Soft and Gentle. I love it on some days.
I love it every day.
So I'm going to start packing this along her, the top of her cheekbone and right around her head. So we're doing just a tiny little C with it. So I'm going to use my Physicians Formula liner, and this one's going to be here in the inner corner, and just drag it across really quickly. Okay? Okay. A little bit.
It's true.
And I'm going to use my Colossal Mascara. This is one of my favorite drugstore mascaras of all time. Lower.
It's mascara I use all the time.
It is my favorite.
I'm in love with it.
Called Cream Cup by MAC. It is like one of my favorite lipsticks ever. Like to go just a tiny little bit out of the lips when I fill them in. And then that is how I did that. So, thumbs up for the video. If you'd like to see any of the wedding looks or anything you want me to recreate any looks, just let me know. And as always, thanks for watching my page. And Eye Candy loves you guys. Bye.